So, construction stage audit also need to be done, particularly in our country, and we have to follow certain protocols for that. Construction zone is an area where actually the road construction activity, either new construction or some repair works are going on. And it has been seen that a number of accidents occur also at or near the road construction zone. You can see here that the statistics, that significant amount of accidents and fatality occur at or near the construction zone. The speciality is that whenever accidents occur, it may lead to severe accidents, fatality is more, because in the construction zone it is dealt with heavy equipment, heavy construction equipment, large amount of materials, road is narrow. So, available road space for other road users is very limited. So, there may be collision type of accidents may occur, and due to the equipment the accidents may occur. Also not proper barricading, if it is not done, then it may happen the accidents, and the severity of accident is much more at or near the construction zone. So, we have to be extra careful while carrying out the construction, and that is why construction stage audit is necessary. So, as we have discussed earlier, audit during pre-construction stage you have learned, and now audit during construction stage, and then the audit will be after completion and pre-opening and of existing roads. So, stage 2 is the audit during construction, generally carried out during construction as temporary measure in high volume highways, roads in rural or urban area, and it is a continuous activity as the location stages of construction change with progress of work. Construction is a continuous process, it is a dynamic process. There is no particular thing that this has to be done, because all sites are different. Sites are different, every site has a different challenge, and also the construction activity is also very dynamic. So, it changes every month, there is a change. So, accordingly we have to change the safety measures also to be changed according to the site condition. So, it is a dynamic process construction, and also it is a temporary thing. So, since it is temporary thing, because maybe construction is going on for say 6 months or so, so contractor they think that okay, we will not put sufficient measures. Many of the cases we have seen it, but here also proper construction stage audit need to be done and proper safety measures to be adopted, because that may lead to accidents and more fatality. So, the key aspects of construction stage audit is that first we have to demarcate the construction zone. In most of the cases nowadays it is the widening of the existing roads. Earlier it was 2 lane, now it is becoming 3 lane. So, in most of the cases it is the development of the existing roads. So, traffic is there on the other part. So, some part needs to be blocked for construction activity. So, the available road space for the road users is limited. So, we have to properly demarcate the construction zone. It is important that not only the road user safety, but also safety of the workmen is important. Dono kai safety is important. Here in this zone, as road users are there in cars or vulnerable road users are there in the available roads, along with that workers are also there. So, they may move around in the roadway portion. So, safety of both is necessary, and to ensure safety, application of traffic control devices and other safety measures need to be provided. Use of traffic calming measures to reduce speed, because in construction zone the road space is limited, it is narrowing the road, available road. So, speed कम करना ही है. So, it is very, very important to reduce the speed in the construction zone. We have very limited road space and the road is also demarcated and with the construction zone is demarcated. So, we have limited road space. So, the road users need to reduce the speed, this is a must, and for that proper road signs and other speed calming measures need to be provided. Any other parameter that can also be noticed which can enhance the safety. So, we have a guideline, IRC guideline, IRC SP 55, guidelines on traffic management in work zone. So, this is the guideline that in the construction zone, since the road is narrow, so the traffic management is an important issue. So, we have to properly manage the traffic, there is a proper traffic management plan. We also need to see the road safety audit manual, IRC SP 88 as you have seen earlier. IRC 67 is for road signs, that is also important because lot of extra signages are needed at the construction zone, and particularly for construction zone there are special types of road signs. So, that also we have to follow. Another one is NHAI road traffic and work zone safety manual. So, that also we need to follow. So, this is the cover page of the guidelines. Now, the overview of the construction zone. So, it is very, very important first to demarcate the construction zone, and as you can see here, this is the work area, this is the work area, and it has to be demarcated in this way, like this tapering portion, it has to be demarcated like this. A sudden reduction in the road space is not desirable, that may cause accident. So, we have to demarcate the entire work zone in this way. So, at the first is the advanced warning zone where there is no reduction in road space, but the road users should be warned that a construction zone is there ahead of it. So, this is the advanced warning zone, the road space is not less here, but some signs are coming, okay, to warn the road users to control their speed. I will discuss the protocol as well. So, this portion is the advanced warning zone, and in the code it is all given that how much to be considered for advanced warning zone. Then is the approach transition zone. So, this is very important, approach transition zone where you can demarcate this work zone next to it with this tapering thing, and this tapering, this angle also has been mentioned. So, this is to be done to demarcate the work zone area near it, and this is termed as approach transition zone. Here because of this tapering the road width starts decreasing. Here the road width starts decreasing, so there should be reduction in the speed. Now is the actual work zone. This is the actual work zone where actually the construction activity is going on. So, this is the work zone where you have the least road width. Next is the terminal transition zone. Now, again it is a tapering. So, slowly we are providing more space, and then work zone, end zone where there is no restriction, and a proper signage is to be put to inform the road users that the road work zone is over. So, these are the 5 zones that need to be properly demarcated, and it is very important, and most of the time we have seen that this is not done properly. So, what is done? This tapering is not done, abruptly they block the road. So, when a vehicle is coming like this, there is a surprise that one lane is not there. So, there may be a chance of accident. So, it is very important to reduce the road space gradually, and depending on the speed of the vehicle on that road and on this portion, and the amount of this work zone, we can define this, what is that length of this tapering portion. So, approach transition zone need to be provided properly with proper barricading and measures.
मैडम कई बार क्या होता है कि स्टेगर्ड वे में करते हैं, कहीं लेफ्ट में कर रहे हैं, कहीं राइट में कर रहे हैं, फिर लेफ्ट में, कहीं राइट में, उस केस में क्या होगा?
ऐसा करना ही है, क्या करें? You have to do it.
कंटिन्यूअस स्ट्रेच में ही होता है ये.
Continuous stretch may because of the land acquisition problem, this portion is constructed, then again that portion is constructed, but you should not block the road abruptly, because if it is blocked abruptly, then the vehicle may hit it.
यहाँ तो ये 4 लेन दिख रहा है, लेकिन 2 लेन हो, सिंगल लेन हो, उस केस में क्या होगा?
उस केस में भी थोड़ा तो आपको टेपरिंग करना ही है, टेपरिंग करना ही है. Okay, otherwise if you just do it that way, then there may be a problem and not proper signages are there, and we have seen that in many cases they may hit it, particularly during night time if the signs are not properly retro reflected. So, there may be a chance of collision. So, thoda to tapering kariye, thoda tapering is necessary, because it has to reduce the speed, right. Anyway you have to reduce the speed here, right. You have to reduce the speed here, no way we can escape that, right, because the road space is less, there is no overtaking allowed. So, you have to reduce the speed. So, abruptly will you reduce the speed? So, there should be a gradual transition so that from higher speed to lower speed you are allowing the vehicle to reduce the speed. So, thoda tapering karna hi padega, right. And in additional signs, may be sorry for inconvenience, thank you for cooperation, that can also be given. Now, construction zone create an environment where the road user is confronted with sudden obstacle. So, this is a sudden obstacle, right, and unfamiliar condition. This is not a normal situation. So, a sudden thing is there, and if the road user is not properly informed, not properly warned, then he will continue in the high speed. So, we have to be very much cautious for the safety. Warning the road users clearly and in advance. In many cases, because it is construction zone, many workers are involved. So, sometimes the road signs, some special road signs may be used, where you have signs written, instructions written in local languages. Providing safe and clearly marked buffer zones and work zones by traffic control devices. So, exactly at the work zone से थोड़ा और space लेके थोड़ा buffer zone करिए for the safety of the workmen. So, a buffer zone also is needed. And how much is the buffer zone, or how much is the tapering, how much is the angle, it is there in the code. So, as far as possible we have to follow that. It should not be sudden change, then there may be a chance of accident. So, compliance for safety during construction. Construction safety initiates with the following procedure. First, the contractor will submit a traffic management plan, then auditor will review the plan, right, because in that construction zone the road is to be demarcated, some area to be blocked. So, what is the traffic management plan that the contractor need to submit? Then the auditor will review it. The auditor will audit the site during construction. If there is any shortfall, that needs to be identified with necessary photographs, and then that needs to be complied by the contractor. Now, we will discuss the construction zone protocol. This is very important. And as we were discussing in the morning that which sign to be given first or not. So, here this is the logic by which we can provide the road signs. So, whenever there is a road construction zone, the first sign should be given in the advanced warning zone, that go slow, right. So, that is the first sign, and that is in the advanced warning zone where the vehicle is travelling at its full speed, design speed. But one sign that you have to now slow down your vehicle. Then the question comes to the driver, why I will slow down? Then the answer is the next road sign, men at work. That means some construction activity is going on. So then the next question will come to the driver, how much I will reduce the speed then? Then the next road sign is the 30 km per hour, right? Then the next question comes to the driver, why 30? The answer is in this road sign, because the road is narrow, right? So in addition to that, since the road is narrow, you should not overtake in this region, right? You should not overtake in this region. So now by this time you have reached the actual activity zone where the construction activity are going on. So this is in the advanced warning zone also, and here it is the tapering portion, that is the transition zone, right? In these signs will be given in the transition zone, advanced transition zone, and this is at the activity zone where you have to reduce your speed the least, that is 15 km per hour. Then again you are going out of the activity zone, so you can start increasing your speed. So then it may come another 30 km per hour and then 60 km per hour. So this is the protocol that is very, very important, we should follow it. Okay? So the first thing is that in the advanced warning zone, as you can see that advanced warning zone, this will come. There is no reduction, go slow. So that is the design speed. Why go slow? Okay, this is another one, as I mentioned, why go slow? Because men at work. How much slow? 30 km or whatever. Why 30? Because the road is narrow, because there is no, you should not overtake. Okay, then the actual work zone where you have the least speed. Then again you are increasing the speed, and in the end zone, work zone, end zone, you are now again to your original speed. And this sign also needs to be provided here, this sign also needs to be provided. That is, this is the design speed on that road. Again you can provide, and this sign is what? Now, this sign indicates that all restrictions are over, right? This portion is the restricted portion. So this sign indicates all restrictions are now over, you can come to your design speed. So this is important, but many times it has been seen that the drivers are not very familiar. So better to put a design speed limit sign here as well. So this is the protocol for construction zone. This is another one, that all these signs sometimes because of the site condition, there is, you cannot have that much of length, right. So in that case, in those special cases, you can put more than one sign in one post. So you can see here the speed limit sign, the men at work, sorry for inconvenience, etc. are putting here. So this is this S1, this is again another one. So this is within the work zone, okay, you can have these things, and then S2 is then again you are going out of the work zone. And minimum 1 kilometer, maximum 1 kilometer distance is given. So if there is constraint in the space, road space, you can put also 2-3 important road signs at one post. Now there is also another protocol for traffic diversion, because traffic need to be diverted when there is a construction activity going on. So the traffic need to be diverted. So here also we have to follow a protocol. What is that protocol? The first sign will come, diversion ahead 200 meter. Message may be in local language as well. And these are the signs, you can see that it is in yellow background, rectangular. This is especially for construction zone. So the first sign will come as diversion 200 meter ahead. So the driver is warned that there is a construction activity going on 200 meter away. Then again it has to be repeated 100 meter ahead, right. So, again another board, diversion board 100 meter ahead, diversion 100 meter ahead. So, that road sign need to be provided. So, the driver is cautious that now I have to face the diversion. Then this sign men at work, because of that the diversion needs to be done. So, men at work sign needs to be placed next to it. Even if the diversion is not visible to the driver, then another board is to be placed, that is diversion ahead 50 meter ahead of it. So, another board is to be placed 50 meter ahead of the diversion to warn the road user, to warn the driver that there is a diversion if it is not visible from 100 meter, right. So, this is the thing. So, since it is a diversion area, so overtaking is not allowed, road width is less, there is a reduction in the road width. So, this sign needs to be provided. You have to reduce your speed at 15 km per hour or so, right. So, the speed limit sign needs to be provided, and then comes the actual diversion. Then comes the actual diversion. So, this diversion board need to be placed after that. Then lane closed ahead, sorry for inconvenience. So, that type of sign may be there, and you can write it also in local languages because so many people are using it. So, this is the protocol for traffic diversion. We should follow this sequentially, and according to that sequence the road signs need to be placed. So, first the diversion to 100 meter ahead, then 100 meter ahead, again warning the driver. Why? Because there is construction work going on. So, men at work sign. Then if it is not visible, again a diversion ahead board to be placed 50 meter ahead, no overtaking, road narrow, speed limit sign, and then comes the diversion board. So, ये सब देना है, right. And many a times it has been seen that this proper diversion is not done, proper barricading is not done, proper tapering is not done, and this diversion is not visible 200 meter away or 100 meter away. Suddenly the driver faces that there is a diversion, road is blocked suddenly perpendicular to the road length. So, that may cause problem, particularly in the night time. So, here is one good example of diversion protocol. You can see here that diversion ahead board, then this I am unable to read. So, these are diversion ahead board, then there is men at work and all these things, then it is tapered, okay, and all the road signs are placed properly, and a proper protocol is maintained. So, this is diversion protocol, and we need to follow this. So, the construction site, at the construction site we must follow the protocol, because there are a lot of road signs need to be placed, because there is sudden change in the road environment. So, proper road signs to be placed, but they should be placed in proper sequence. And also in diversion, proper signs to be placed well in advance to inform the road users to take the diversion safely. Now, it is the traffic management during construction. Adequate delineation, warning signs, diversion protocol at the construction zone need to be provided for the safety of the workers as well as the road users. Adequate reflectors on construction equipment, because lot of heavy equipments are there. So, on the equipment also reflectors need to be provided, and if the equipments are parked at the night time, so it should be properly visible. Deployment of flagmen when working with excavator, JCB, etc. with boom. So, these are common equipment that are used for the construction work, and for deep excavation, if that what is going on. So, sometimes we also use the flagmen. So, flagmen to be deployed, and for that also a sign need to be provided, because the road user should not hit the flagman as well. So, flagman ahead, that type of sign also need to be provided, and the flagman also should carry some of the signs. So, proper barricading, continuous barricading, and there are different types of barriers are available. So, depending on the type of work, this type of barricading need to be provided. Any discrepancy or shortfall to be notified to the contractor with a contractor action request with photographs for compliance and submission of the compliance report. So, during the audit, if there is anything which is missing, so that needs to be pointed out with proper photograph as is done, and that need to be complied. Road accident data during construction period to be collected by the contractor and submitted if required, and the same can be reviewed by the road safety auditor as well for mitigation measures. Now, there are several guiding principles to be followed while formulating the safety aspect. One is the safety of the traffic or road users, safety of the workers. Also, it is important to minimize the delay, because in the work zone there is road is narrow. So, the vehicles cannot travel at their desired speed, and that is why there is a delay. But we have to properly plan the traffic management, so that proper traffic management plan need to be provided, so that the delay is minimized, and periodic supervision and checking of the safety aspect need to be done. So, it is important, the main aim is to the safety of the road users, safety of the workmen, minimizing the delay of the road users. These are the traffic control devices. There are several traffic control devices that can be used. Some are given also in the IRC code, but some can also be used by the contractor, and if it is working fine with proper retroreflection, that can be used. So, these are very common traffic cones. This is concrete delineator. This is a simple arrangement, but it can work nicely. This is a concrete block, and over it a simple post is there, and on that this is a simple thing, low cost. It is very effective. Retroreflections are provided, and this is white, so it is visible during the night time, and there are retroreflection tapes on it. Flashing beacon, because those are flashing lights that indicates that construction zone is ahead. There are different types of barriers depending on the type of construction activity. You can see this is type A barrier, full covered. Particularly this is seen in the construction of say metro works in urban areas. So, lot of deep excavation is there, much deep excavation for metro underground construction. Yes. So, here type A type of barrier needs to be provided. So, it is full covered, you can see here, and this type of barrier need to be provided. This is also quite effective on the highway, type B barrier. You can see here these are the barriers, and in between also its net is provided. So, this is type B barrier, this is New Jersey barrier. These are also very effective, but there are certain guidelines for providing this New Jersey barrier. So, for New Jersey barrier, the proper gap should be maintained. It should not be placed very wide, okay? Because if it is placed very wide, then the vehicle may hit, right? Vehicle may hit, there may be collision. So, the distance is very important. In many places it has been seen that one side of the road is blocked and they have put the New Jersey barrier, but they are placed at so much of distance that is not very effective. So, within 500 millimeter that NJB is to be provided. So, these are the New Jersey barrier, you can place it continuous as well or with a little gap, so that if the vehicle hits, it is actually slides along the barrier. If there is too much gap, then it will hit directly here. So, that will not serve the purpose. So, distance between barrier is very important. We have to provide a proper distance less than 500 mm. And sometimes directional signs are also there. You can see here directional signs are also to be provided in one post, barricading plus diversion sign sometimes may be provided. This is water filled barrier. You can see here it is mostly seen in urban or semi-urban areas to segregate the pedestrians or bicycles. So, this is water filled barrier, continuous water filled barrier to be provided to segregate the vulnerable road users from the carriageway. Temporary pavement marking and delineator. So, you can see here this is the work zone, right. This is the work zone and this is barricaded and in tapered form. So, the transition zone, approach transition zone, it has to be properly tapered. It is a must and the tapering is less at the end. So, you can see here the two slopes are different. ठीक है, इधर तो करना ही है because this is the approach transition zone and this is the terminal transition zone. इधर थोड़ा कम भी हो सकता है that tapering, but this is the zone where the actual construction activities are going on and that needs to be properly barricaded, right, with proper tapering. And these are the pavement marking or studs. Temporary studs may also be provided and particularly night time it is very effective. So, you can see that this is clearly seen that this is the diversion. Okay, so, that type of temporary road studs can be provided to demarcate the work zone and to guide the traffic moving on the road. In the construction zone, some more lighting arrangements need to be provided because work can go on in the night time as well. Also, if it is not carried out in night time, the equipment may be parked. So, several lighting devices need to be provided. This is a warning light, it is a very bright warning light, flash warning beacons, these are blinking sometimes and they are very bright in color, rotating amber. So, that also shows that some construction activities or some special work is going on along the road ahead of it. This is truck mounted attenuator. So, you can see here this is a mandatory sign showing here and that indicates that this portion is blocked and we have to follow the road on the right side. So, this is the lighting devices, these are all retroreflective and warning lights, flashing beacons, rotating ambers, all are provided particularly for the safety during the night time. Portable variable message sign and arrow boards. So, this is for the diversion, as you can see that this is the diversion sign, both side arrow or one direction we have to follow this. So, these are the variable message sign that are used nowadays. So, here also you can see that some of the things can be written as well, road closed, narrow road, okay. So, we have to follow this direction, okay, road work ahead, something like that. This type of small writing can be there with this variable message sign. So, these are also quite effective because they are glaring and that is very bright and in the night time it is visible to the road users. Flagmen, as I mentioned that sometimes when the deep excavation or something is going on, then we can put the flagmen and for that also a separate road sign need to be provided. That means in the advance warning zone, the sign for flagman ahead, right, flagman ahead, this is the sign for the flagman. That means the road user will know that a person is there who is working as flagman and then he will also be cautious. So, this is the flagman they can have this type of stop or other signs. So, they are equipped with warning signs on hand, or like they can also carry the flags, etc., to warn the road users. Right. So, these are all to warn the road users well in advance, in the either in the advance warning zone or in the transition zone, approach transition zone. So, it is very, very important to provide all these road signs, otherwise how they will know that there one person is standing at the middle of the road, right. So, flagman hai aage, that sign also need to be provided. Common problems in construction zones. As we have seen that there are all sites are different, but some of the things are quite common. Traffic diversion arrangement and signage. This is quite common. Traffic diversion, as I have said, that proper diversion is not done, proper diversion board ahead ये sign नहीं देते हैं, abrupt road close कर देते हैं, and then the vehicle which is travelling at 80 kilometers suddenly has to reduce the speed and divert the vehicle. So, traffic diversion arrangement is generally poor in our country, even in national highways. Not all the signs are provided, several of the signs are missing because road is narrow, work is in progress, right. No overtaking, ये सब तो minimum sign देना ही है, and many a times it is seen that the road signs are inadequate. Safety at work zone, we are talking about proper barricading. Proper barricading is not done in many cases, and it has been seen that if the construction is okay, they are following certain protocols and all those things, but in absence of adequate barricading, many accidents occur. Many accidents occur. One is in Kolkata few years back, a flyover collapsed after the one day after construction. जिस दिन कास्टिंग हुआ था, next day उसके नीचे से बास चालू हो गया. If it is properly barricaded, then those lives can be saved, right. Even if the material is bad, even if the construction quality is poor, if the site is properly barricaded, then उतना life lost नहीं होता. So, barricading is very, very important. Whatever is the site, proper barricading should be done. Inconsistency, this is also another problem. Sometimes the signs are there, different sign, because as you are saying that this portion is constructed, again ulta direction another sign is constructed, another site is constructed, maybe two different contractors are there and they are following, अपना मर्जी से road sign लगा देते हैं. So, that is inconsistency. So, drivers may get confused. So, that should not be there. So, inconsistency should be avoided. Construction equipment handling and parking. All those heavy equipment, construction vehicles should be provided with proper retroreflection tapes, amber lights, yellow beacon, all those things need to be provided on the construction equipment because they are parked most of the time at the side of the road. So, they should be properly handled and properly parked, and so that the road users in the night time they can see that some equipment is parked on the site. And construction worker safety, because many people are involved in the road construction. So, their safety is also important, not only the road user safety, but the construction workers safety is very, very important, and here we are very much lacking. So, traffic diversion arrangement and signage. Here are some examples, some very common examples at the road construction site, and these have been taken from different road safety audits. So, you can see that no diversion sign, no barrier, no protocol. Just you see that here is the construction site, and abruptly with some barricading it is stopped. So, this is how the driver will know it. There is no sign, no diversion protocol, okay, no barrier. So, this is not desirable. No night visibility, no protocol, as you can see there is nothing is there. no sign, no edge marking, no diversion board, how the driver will understand that there is a diversion? So, these are the very common problem in our country. You see here again abrupt change, abruptly they have closed it, not following the construction protocol, no tapering, okay, and inconsistent diversion sign with less number of chevrons. Chevrons are also less because here the diversion is there. So, there is a change in cross section and that has to be informed properly. NJB is not safe. See how the NJB is placed, there is no painting on the NJB. Just they have placed it and only two here and another one may be at much higher distance. So, this is a real problem. Inconsistent small diversion, just as you see that this is only one diversion, bas ho gaya, no advance warning to the road users, no protocol, NJB is not saved much longer distance in between. Diversion without tapering, just abrupt, this is very common. As you are saying, maybe the road is also not very wide, but even in highways we have seen that this type of diversion has been done without proper tapering. NJB without proper tapering is unsafe and diversion sign is missing. You see here एकदम right angle में बंद कर दिया, just right angle it is moving as, so suddenly the driver maybe which is travelling at 80 km/h has to turn its vehicle. So, this is very unsafe, and if any worker is there, so that may cause fatality even. So, these are other examples. Undelineated or unprotected drain. You see here that the drains are there at the side, but it is not protected. See the condition in night time, how the people will know it. No edge marking, no barricading, no delineation, no crash barrier. So, it is really unsafe situation. This is better tapering, but these flimsy tapes are not adequate. Just flimsy tape barrier used to block lane without any pre-warning sign. Ahead of that zone also the driver should be informed. So, here only the suddenly diversion sign is coming. So, that diversion ahead board also to be provided. Diversion ahead 200 meter, 100 meter, that diversion ahead board must be provided before placing this diversion board, right. And this type of just simple flimsy tape is inadequate. Diversion without adequate barricading. So, this is तो एकदम बेकार का चीज़ है. Just you can see that only just small tapes with just bamboo sticks and on that flimsy tapes लगा दिया है. So, this is highly inadequate. Okay. So, this type of arrangement is not recommended and causing safety problems. Advanced delineation before start of retaining wall is missing. So, there is a retaining wall construction you see here and but no sign has been given, suddenly retaining wall starts. So, how the road user will know that there is a retaining wall coming, the road becomes narrow and that they may hit it, right, they may hit it. So, this proper signage is necessary. Sudden introduction of sidewalk, it may lead to severe accident, cones, delineations missing. So, in many cases the contractor think that yaar ye to temporary work hai, ek mahina mein ho jayega, why I will spend that much of money, but that may cause serious safety issues, because if fatality occurs then the life cannot be back, right. So, we have to consider, and in this construction zone the chances of fatality is much more, because we have narrow space, speed has to be reduced, properly barricaded and proper delineation is necessary. No work zone delineation, देखिए न deep excavation है, ये चलता है, there is nothing, no barricading. In the night time how it if it cannot follow it, then it may fall down. So, proper barricading is necessary. No barrier around deep excavation. Here also, this is the work zone, nothing is there. In the night time, how they will demarcate it. So, these are the common problems what we have seen on the highways, and that causes safety problem. Now, barriers that I have mentioned also, that there are different types of barrier, type A, type B, even type C, D barriers are also there, and NJB, that is also very important, but this see that NJB is spaced too far away. So, that does not serve the purpose, because it will, if there is a skidding of the vehicle, then ये तो इधर ही hit करेगा, so that will not serve the purpose. But if it is spaced closely, then ऐसे slide करके चल सकते हैं, so then it will not be that much of severity. So, it should not be spaced too much far away to each other. So, this is very common. This is also very common in construction zone. NJBs are placed, sometimes they are not properly painted. Yellow and black color should be there on the NJB, but sometimes just like that they put it, and much higher spacing. That is also, this is also not desirable. This causes actually safety problem. It does not solve the safety issues, but it will create the safety hazard, right. So, because vehicle can hit it. ये देखिए, ये क्या है, just a bamboo stick and this thing, nothing is there, no retro reflection, nothing. So, ये देने का है या नहीं है, it's of no use. No barrier, no diversion, no delineation, no protocol, right. It's very, very substandard, very, very inadequate of barricading. Substandard delineation with no visibility during night time, just see that. Where is the visibility, where is the delineation, where is the barricading, where is the diversion board, nothing is there. So, it is very, very important to put proper diversion board, and well in advance, in that advanced transition zone, that diversion ahead road sign need to be provided. Inconsistency, as I have told that maybe two part of the road, there are two different contractors, so they are using on their own, अपना मर्जी जैसे they are putting road signs, and that may cause confusion to the road users. So, that should not be done. So, consistency should be maintained, and we should follow the road signs as per the IRC code. So, if we follow that thing, then there will not be any inconsistency. Another one is conglomeration of the road sign. एक जगह में बहुत सारा road sign दे दिया है. So, that also creates confusion. How many the driver will see? So, एक जगह पे बहुत सारा road sign देने का कोई ज़रूरत नहीं. It should be placed at proper distance so that one can understand it. So, ये देखिए इधर stop sign दे दिया है, इधर एक diversion है, इधर stop sign दे दिया है, and that many other things are also there. Here diversion है एकदम abrupt right angle में, एकदम right angle में road close हो गया, and no warning beforehand also. NJB as right angle is a major safety hazard. एक साथ बहुत सारा sign, ये देखिए NJB is placed with only white painting. Not even for a one single day we should allow this. एक दिन के लिए भी नहीं, this type of thing is to be allowed. It is not properly painted with yellow and black, it is all white, and also much higher spacing, and एक जगह में बहुत सारा हो गया है, and at right angle. Construction equipment. Construction equipment, because a lot of materials need to be carried, and so we require big trucks, and then when they are unloading the material, see the condition. They are encroaching almost one lane, right? They are encroaching almost one lane, so it causes the problem in side distance for other vehicles, and if this is done during night time, so then it is a very serious issue, safety issue. You can see this is the boom of the equipment. जेसीबी का। तो ये ऐसा करके खड़ा हुआ है जे the boom is on the carriageway. So that is very dangerous. That is very dangerous. Heavy equipments are working without any reflector at front, rear or side. So all the construction equipment, this is very important. All the construction equipment must be provided with amber light, yellow beacon, retroreflective tapes, etc. at the sides, also at the back, at the front, right. These things must be provided on the equipment, all the equipment. Working beyond work zone without delineation. Work zone के भी आगे चला आया, but no barricading, nothing. Construction worker safety. So construction workers, so they do not follow any protocol. All these things are needed because they should be visible to others. The road users should see the construction workers. So that is why this type of retroreflective jackets are necessary. Not only jackets, because road construction is a heavy work. So boots, gloves, helmets, etc. are needed. And the workers here, they do not follow, just like their day-to-day things, they use it, they do the construction activities. So all these things are very much necessary, otherwise there will be problems, sometimes hearing problem हो जाता है, vision problem हो जाता है, and other type of damage also may occur if the proper PPE is not provided to the workmen. तो ये तो पूरा कॉमन चीज़ है. जस्ट यू सी दैट वर्कर विदाउट सेफ्टी शूज़, हियर इट इज़ विदाउट सेफ्टी शूज़ एंगेज इन हैजर्डस रेनफोर्समेंट वर्क. ये देखिए, ये रबर का चप्पल पहन के रेनफोर्समेंट का काम कर रहा है, उसके ऊपर खड़ा होकर कर रहा है. इधर इसका हेलमेट है, बट इधर हेलमेट नहीं है. एंड दो दे हैव wearing boots and jackets, but all these things are inadequate. So सब कुछ पहनना है, boots is necessary, helmets, gloves, because all those things are required. ये देखिए कुछ भी नहीं है, and all this reinforcement work, with this type of reinforcement work, just with रबर का चप्पल पहन के they are doing it. So this is very dangerous. Working without helmets, boots or gloves, inadequate safety measure at the construction site. So these are all causing safety hazards to the workmen. So we also have to care for the workmen, and the contractor should provide necessary safety kit, PPE, to the workmen. And that in many a times it is lacking, but that is needed. Inadequate safety measures इधर भी है, without boots, without helmets, they are doing this high reinforcement works. Inadequate safety for works, all these things are there without adequate safety measures to the workers. So these things cannot be accepted. So while doing the safety audit during the construction site, we have to see that the proper safety measures have been taken or not. The construction site should be properly demarcated, not abrupt change, but should be demarcated with proper tapering.